Hello everybody, welcome back to Grappler Man's videos. I am now going to continue my post-Proteus wave exploration in Mel 22 sector NX-U D2-31, planet 3A. This is the location of a very large Thardoid base. I thought I would go there to see if I could get some Guardian relics turned into those unclassified relics and see what happens when an escape pod is put in there. Don't forget, if you like my videos and you like this kind of information, if it's entertaining or if you find it useful, please subscribe or like or comment. Pass the word around, get other people on my channel. I'd love to keep growing. In the meantime, let's get to it. It's pretty easy to see that this is a fairly large vase. You can see it very easily from out in space. And you can see it's very alien looking, and again, this is not something that a lot of people haven't seen, but it's still impressive every time you go there. Okay, let's make our approach. As you can see, there's a large central structure in the center. I tried to get as close to the door as possible with my ship, which I didn't think you could do at first, but it is possible. I decided to use the Scorpion the first time, so I put a sensor on there and went through the door. I figured this would be just as good as using the Scarab, but I found out that the Scorpion, although it's great for certain things, it's not the best one to take in to do this particular job. For one, its cargo rack only holds 2, and if you're trying to get unclassified relics, you want to take as many as possible for each run. But as you run through this thing, there's a maze. Those little white things on the ground will blow up if you run into them. In one of the side chambers, I tried to get one of these Thardoid links. So I pulled up here. I'd watched some videos and it said you just shoot them down. So I used the Scorpion to try to shoot it down, and this is what happened. Kaboom. Nothing. And I tried it with both of the other ones that were there, and every time I tried to shoot it, it was not going to work. So, needless to say, one thing the Scorpion is good at is this. Killing scavengers with one shot with the missiles is very, very effective. The missiles on the Scorpion are really effective one-shot kills. Anyway, I don't know how it would be if you had a swarm of them coming at you, but it's definitely better than the Scarab in combat. Well, after an unsuccessful attempt with the Scorpion, I went back and got a Scarab. And I grabbed 3 Guardian relics and another probe or sensor. And when I came into the cave, central cavern, I took this sensor out of my ship so that I wouldn't continue to get decayed, and put it by the entrance. And then I proceeded to dump off the Guardian relics into the 3 holes that are in the Thargoid device. The scavengers aren't really concerned with me right now, but if you look, you can see little green squares. There's one of the relics right now sitting there waiting, and you see there's a green square. You just pull up there, drop it in, and there's 3 of those. Once you've got all 3 of them in, then go into an opening and try to get yourself out of the room. I had seen a video earlier where a man was able to stay out of the room and the scavengers didn't attack him. Well, that didn't happen to me, as you're about to see. But I did try to pull into one of the hallways nearby where the sensor was dropped off, and once I got all the relics in place, I went ahead and scanned the device, and that activated it. And then I will let you see what happened. So here you can see I'm backing up into one of the tubes, and you can see my Thargoid sensor sitting there just to help me remember which way I was going to leave. Here I am going to activate the device. I go to the turret and scan it, and once I scan it, the fireworks begin. Now, unfortunately, in my case, the scavengers got mad and they started attacking me in waves, which I'm just going to let this play out so you can see it. In the background, you can see that there is a lot of commotion going on in that device, and this goes on for a little bit of time, several minutes actually, and I just sit here and destroy these things. I was a little nervous, so my aim wasn't quite right. I wasn't sure what was going to happen, so But you just keep looking, and I'm just going to let this play out. You'll see the Thargoid scavengers will come along, and this is a decent place to catch them, especially if you're good at shooting, because they can't surround you really. And you just have to wait for the device to cool down. Now once the activity is over, you can go and grab those green unclassified relics now. But it's advisable, unless you're really good with the SRV, to just wait until the video that's going on in the background stops, because it gets pretty hot in there and you can get some SRV damage. Not to mention you got to fight scavengers all the way. So this is just interesting. I think it's fun to watch, and you can just see how many come at me. And then the other good thing about it is once you've killed them, you can pick up all those pieces as well, which are useful. So I'm going to fast forward this and let you see it on fast speed. Well, that fight lasted at least 4 minutes or 5 minutes. Anyway, now that the fight's over, you're going to proceed to go and pick up the relics. And they are just sitting on top of those right there on the right. And you can see all that stuff that you can pick up. It's great. Of course, the relics are the most important things. So you grab one, jump up and over it, collect them, and skedaddle. Once I had collected all the unclassified relics and picked up as much of the debris as I needed to or wanted to, I went back and found my Thargoid sensor that I had put down by the entrance, and went ahead and re-grabbed that to see it in case I needed it again. It isn't necessary for you to have that to get out, but you can reuse it if you don't lose it. But if it gets destroyed or you forget it or something, you can still get out. I tested that. In the meantime, while I'm trying to get out, I also want to let you know that I did come back in here afterwards and did this a couple times, and I got myself 9 of these factors, these unclassified relics. But I also came in with an escape pod or two to see what would happen if I stuck the escape pods into the openings, and it just rejected them. It didn't really do anything. So needless to say, the escape pods were kind of a bust. I am going to go back in here and try with the scarab to shoot down the Thargoid links, and I suspect that it will work just fine. But the scorpion did not. So, well, that's it for me, and I will be taking these to Ram Ta at some point just to see what there is to see with that. But until later, Grapple Man out.